Good morning, good evening, and welcome to Fodder TV for Arsenal fans all over this world. This video is in conjunction with Gooner Matterz, created by myself, Glenwyn. Now before we go any further, click on the subscribe, hit the bell for all the notifications, and give a Gooner a thumbs up. Now, a lot of hype is going around regarding players being linked to Arsenal Football Club. Those who's coming in, those who are possibly going out, the manager, all sorts of things. Now, there's a player that is standing out for me, Yves Bissouma from Brighton of Albion. Now, Graham Potter has groomed this boy in all sorts of ways. He's a box-to-box player. He runs, he's mobile, he's up and down, he's all over the show. He is a free defensive midfielder, I would say. He's roaming free. He's just doing a brilliant job. Mind you, he had a brilliant performance, a man of the match performance against Everton on Monday. Now, before we continue with Bissouma, on Sunday against Sheffield United, I don't know about you guys, I saw a very, very good technique or tactical play from Arsenal, whereby Arteta has changed the dynamic of the team because of one player or few players that are injured. Now, Bukayo Saka, he was a number 10, forced number 10 role, as you would say it, and he was roaming free. Then you had Ceballos and Thomas Partey in the center, and of course a very, very, very surprising move is Granit Xhaka on left back. Now, to me, that was a brilliant move, considering how it panned out. But if you have noticed that Ceballos and Martinelli on the left-hand side, they were blocking all sorts of attack down the right-hand side because of Granit Xhaka. He is not a left back, he's a midfielder, but predominantly left-footed, which I think Arteta obviously opted for that because he's natural left. But what was interesting to see is that Ceballos and Martinelli tracked back on occasion to support him, because he wasn't the one who did some pressing down the left-hand side, put in a cross or something. He was the one who's pressing the play down, or rather breaking the play down and moving into the center at times with the attack, which was a brilliant, unpredictable move from Arteta's side, and I think it worked well for us. There was a few times that that Sheffield came through our left side. It didn't work much. The only time it worked is when they put the ball over the defense. Now, to come back to the point I wanted to make is that Thomas Partey is a sitting defensive midfielder. He's not moving, and I mean, we all have been saying this for the longest time, is that he's not a runner. He moves from left to right, a couple of yards forward, a couple of yards back, and that is his play. He will give a cross ball, he will give a through ball from time to time, but he's the player that will sit in that center, and he will man that cave per se. So a player like Bissouma is in my opinion, a perfect addition to that midfield, because he's mobile. He's a player that will go to the box up front, he will come back tracking the defense, and he will go from side to side, from half to half, and that is in his build-up play, which is a brilliant technique to have, and also a talent that will give a pass from here to Die Kingdom Come. And that is the player that we need in that center, helping Partey. And that is, I think, one of the targets that we need to have. Then we can let Granit Xhaka go. Then we can have El Nene go, because we have Michael Aziz to have a backup for that role. Because to me, I think Aziz is a similar player as Basuma, but Basuma, like I said, he had a man of the match performance in the engine room of Brighton, and Graham Potter. I'm sure he's thinking, why must this guy be linked to all sorts of clubs in the market? Now, Jamie Carragher also spoke of him the other day after their match, and he was saying, and I quote that, you looked at him and he really does look like a top quality player. He's been someone a lot of teams have talked about or looked at. I don't think teams will be looking at him. I think they will be bidding for him at the end of the season. So if a brilliant, I think Jamie Carragher was also a brilliant legend for Liverpool, and for his assessment on Basuma is spot on, because I think also that is what the player can bring to any team. So there's a couple of years on his contract still, and I think he can be a good asset for Arsenal. I mean, even the pundits had been saying for a longest time that a midfielder like him can be an asset to the likes of Spurs, United, Liverpool, big teams, huge teams. I mean, even across the board in Europe. Pardon me. So I think Basuma would be the greatest asset for the January, or rather the summer transfer. And when the story broke in January through Football.London, when he was linked to the Gunners, and I'm sure a lot of fans came out and say, pursue this guy, pursue this player, and look at him to get him into this team. And he's given 31 brilliant appearances for the Seagulls, and in all competitions for that. And I think with Graham Potter having to let go of a player of that stature, it's going to be a hard sore. And again, the reports came through whereby it says that Brighton could easily demand 60 million for Basuma, and it would not be outrageous because at the WAB Towers it was said that they will not consider anything below 70 million. So yeah, that's the figure after a lot of figures has been thrown around, and I think throughout the season thus far, I think he was top dollar. He was a good performer in the middle of the park for Brighton, and there was a game I think he was not included in the side or the starting, and there was a huge space vacant there in the middle where you can see they're missing that guy. So for Arsenal, and I'm sure all the Gunners will somehow agree that Basuma will be a good addition to our midfield. So and I also want to just read the last bit of a report. It says that the truth is that Basuma is almost priceless in his worth to Albion. The club who end up signing him will have to pay big money, and he will be worth every penny. So, to me, that is a good possibility and a prospect for Arsenal, whereby we need somebody that is mobile to support Thomas Partey. So, yeah, about Yves Basuma. Give your thoughts about him. You can obviously leave comments below. have a great discussion. And as Alex always say, we are a family here at Cannon Fodder. It's not a real podcast, but it's a family vibe. And I'll tend to agree with him. I mean, I'm not with Cannon Fodder for that much long. If you think it's about 2 months or so. But I think give the Gooner a chance to express all sorts of discussions and views on the channel. And then again, there's another player that I've also looked at, and I think this is the opposite side of where Yves Basuma has really brought a lot of admiration in my mind. And the next player for me is a player that's also linked to Arsenal, and his name is Jesse Lingard. Now, personally, I think Jesse Lingard is an overrated player, or was an overrated player at Manchester United. I don't know if the guys in England will agree with me, but Lingard was overrated in my opinion. He's got a lot of prospects. He's got a lot of good talent, and what a turnaround in my mind. Since the January window, he was loaned out to the Hammers, and again, the Hammers is one of our rivals in London. And the price tag on him then was 20 million. And now United is asking double that for this player. But now Moyes is saying that because they going or vying for top 4 and Champions League possible playoffs, I don't think it would be a good thing for them to first put a bid in for Lingard for the Hammers. And I'm sure Arsenal supporters would feel the same, because I would go back to a game between United and Arsenal, and I think it was Rio Ferdinand that has now mentioned earlier in reports to say that Lingard is not going anywhere. He's not going close to Arsenal, purely for the fact that I think it's somewhere in my notes. Let me just see here. Sorry guys, sorry. Yeah, it says here this is what Rio Ferdinand has said about Lingard reported move to the Emirates. The way he moonwalked off the pitch once they wouldn't have it, the Arsenal supporters, I'm saying, they wouldn't have it. The fans will rip him apart. The fans will rip the Emirates apart. In his own words, he's saying that the fans would rip the place apart. He disrespected the Emirates in a way that hadn't been seen. He's not going to go to Arsenal over West Ham, obviously, but there will be other teams. He ain't going nowhere near Arsenal. And that's what Rio Ferdinand is saying. So the fact that Lingard has done that, he's disrespected the Emirates. And now, I'm not sure about you guys as fans of Arsenal. I tend to forgive and forget. I think he's a good player, but he's not a player for Arsenal. He will be a legend in a Hammers shirt. He will be, because he wouldn't have never been a legend in a United shirt either. So he's the type of player of a West Ham, maybe a Brighton, maybe even a Leeds, or even going down to Southampton. So you will be that type of player that become a legend because of his performance that he's brought now for the last couple of months since the January window. So I think Lingard is linked to Arsenal, but for 40 million for that type of player, I don't think it is worth it. I will probably, if it was my choice, to give him 20 more, because now the links saying, or the reports are saying that if we can't get Martin Odegaard, he will be the next backup for the number 10 role. And I think, I mean, don't get me wrong, guys, is that Jesse Lingard has been performing very, very well in the number 10 at West Ham. But for the history in terms of rivalry between United and Arsenal, what he did at the Emirates to disrespect the Emirates like that, I don't think the bigger base of fans will sort of like that. They will probably boycott a few, and I think that will really scar the guy. I think Lingard is not going to be the player for Arsenal, because once you have disrespected a fan base, or at least a place whereby the return going to be making it hard for yourself, and to call Emirates his dance floor, you know what? In my books, sorry, I can forgive you, but I won't forget it. So I don't think Lingard should come into Arsenal, purely for the fact that the fan base will really turn the place around. So in my opinion, thumbs up for Basuma. No, not Lingard. So guys, in a nutshell, that was my storyline for today. And I think there's a lot of things that can obviously either go wrong or go well for us. All we need to do is, and I said it for the longest time, is that play the young boys. Balogun has signed a deal now. So Arteta, give the boy some minutes. Give him minutes, because you want to succeed next season. This couple of games that's left, about 7 or 8 games that are left, give the boy some minutes. Build up his confidence, because if he's going to continue to be confident, he's going to give you goals, because that is why you pin him down on a contract. Give him the minutes. Give Aziz the minutes. Bring in Ben Cottrell, another dynamic player. Give these youngsters minutes. There's so many players in under 23 squad that I can name, but for now, Balogun, top class. He scored another goal against County, so he's another player that needs minutes. Aziz needs minutes. I mean, like Alex always say, he scored a disgusting goal. A disgusting goal he scored. And I'm sure he can score more of those disgusting goals against any of the Premier League teams. So give the boy minutes, Arteta. Give him minutes. So yeah, let us know what your thoughts are about Idris Basuma and Jesse Lingard. That is the two player profiles that I've sort of thought of. So without any further ado, my name is Glenwyn, signing off or standing in for Canon Fodder TV. For all Arsenal fans all over the world. So subscribe, hit the like buttons, and also the bell for all notifications, and you will have a ball of a time with this Familia Canon Fodder TV. Thank you. And Gooner Matterz, where your opinion matters.